Good morning. Colonel Brigadier Command Master Sergeant Freeman, Commanders, Chiefs, First Sergeants, friends, and family. My name is Master Sergeant Joe Hernandez. I'm honored to be here at today's CCF graduation. I work for the Air Force Intelligence and Surveillance and Reconnaissance Agency here at Lackland Air Force Base, and I'm an inspector for the Inspector General's office. Now, why are we here today? Well, to celebrate this great achievement, the completion of the Community College of the Air Force Associates of Applied Sciences degree. It's a great achievement. Now, events like this are a pretty big deal, wouldn't you agree? So, how did I get here? I really don't know, but I want to give you a little insight. Because you know, at any college commencement, most of the time, they ask very smart people to come and speak at ceremonies such as this. But unfortunately, there was nobody around. So naturally, they always go to the most attractive folks to speak at such events, and there too, there was none available. So they finally, after going through almost the entire student body, they actually came up to just ask the next person to walk in the door, and so here I am today. Today is that day. The day we transition, you transition from college students to college graduates. An outstanding achievement. For some of you, this is your first degree. For some of you, this is your second or third degree. And for others, this is just the beginning. A beginning to a great start. As you know, as I was going through my thoughts of what I was going to say to this graduating class, I was reminded of what I used to say to my students when I taught Airman Leadership School. And I said, before you discuss anything to any audience, there's 3 things you need to make sure you let them know. Rule 1, tell them what you're going to tell them. Rule 2, tell them. Rule 3, tell them what you told them. Simple, 3 things. Tell them what you're going to tell them what you told them. And so that's what I want to do with you today. I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit of a short story. I'm going to speak a little bit on some statistics when it comes to this graduating class, and then finally I'll conclude with a charge to you as a graduating class of 2014. So let's begin. A little bit of background on me. I'm a child of 10, 6 brothers, 4 sisters. I'm number 8. I was raised in San Antonio by a single mother, and at the age of 16 I was adopted and moved to a small town in Plainfield, Wisconsin, population 829 people. Now, when I was in 5th grade there in Plainfield, Wisconsin, there was a 5th grade teacher by the name of Duda. Now, Miss Duda was one of those science teachers that she had no favorites. She treated everybody with respect. She wanted to make sure that everybody did what they were supposed to do. And one day, she gave us a homework assignment. Now, I didn't want to do my homework assignment like most of us at that time. And so I went ahead and just went home and didn't do what I wanted to do. So we came into school. Miss Duda, as any good teacher, she starts collecting the classwork. Well, as she noticed, I never turned mine in. And so she asked and inquired as to why I hadn't done it. And I gave her the straight, honest answer, that I didn't care and that I didn't do it. Now, to my surprise, Ms. Duda said, well, I guess you're not going to be going out to recess. You're going to be staying in here and doing the homework assignment that I asked you to do. Now, if you can imagine, missing recess as an 11-year-old child is like a 20-year prison sentence. I'm expected to sit down and do this assignment that instead of playing with my friends. So, because I decided I was upset still, I'm not going to listen to what the screech of a woman was telling me to do. But I sat down at that desk, and for the next 15 minutes, I wrote, I hate Miss Duda, about 38 times on my desktop. Now, the bell rang. It was time to go to the next class. And so that's what I did. I went to the next class. It's now 3 p.m. It's the end of the day. And of course, as fate would have it, I forgot to realize that I have to walk by Miss Duda's class at the end of the day. And sure enough, as I'm walking with my friends after putting away my books, I feel this sudden jerk pull me into a room. And who did I see? Miss Duda, staring at me. Now, folks, I don't get scared very easily except for Mom. Mom will scare me. And for whatever reason, I wasn't scared for my life or anything like that, but I was afraid of what really she was going to say to me. And she did. And she said to me, why would you write such things? Why would you say these things about me? I just froze. She goes, do you want to end up like your brothers and sisters? Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters weren't the best behaved kids in school. But she yelled and scolded me pretty harshly. Now, I never told my mother what happened that day. I never told anybody what happened that day. Only because I know for sure Miss Duda was going to call my mom and let her know. Now, my mom, being an old school mom, you know who you are out here, she had this little thing called home training. And I knew after that phone call would happen that my butt was not going to be sitting down on anything for a while during dinner. But the most amazing thing happened. The call never came. And for that short time, at that young age of 11 years old, for whatever reason it was, I knew that somebody actually cared for my education. And for the most part, I share with you that story because there have been times where you can reflect on those same individuals that did the same thing for you. Remember when that sudden jerk from somebody affected you in the same way? Because they cared for what you wanted to do within your careers, especially when it came to school. Now those people were your friends, your supervisors, your family, your loved ones, and they wanted you to go to school. They pressured you to go to school. They always encouraged you. And even though sometimes we didn't understand why we needed to go or just didn't care to do it, they constantly pushed you to continue to go to school. And so, for the most part, here you are. You've already met Miss Duda before at some point. Well, it's because of those friends and family that you stand here today as graduates of the Community College of the Air Force. Now, did you know that 22.5% of the entire enlisted force has an associate's degree? You're in a very, very small group. And that's all components: Guard, Reserve, and Active Duty. For the fall category, in 2013 of April, we had 9,580 graduates with associate's degrees. 7,176 were first-time degrees, and 2,404 were subsequent degrees. In the fall, we have 8,914 that received their diplomas, making it a total of 18,494 Associates of Applied Sciences degrees awarded for the class of 2013, which makes it the largest graduating class in the history of the Community College of the Air Force, which is an amazing, amazing statistic. So why stop now? You're already in the school mode. Many of us had set a goal to get your CCAF, and you did it. And the best part of reaching those goals is now we get to move forward and accomplish or set a new goal. And we're already there, because your success is just around the corner. But how does one measure success? Is it measured by how much money we have in the bank, or is it measured by how many awards we win? Absolutely not. Success can mean many different things to us. And however you measure that for you, well, that's good for you. How I measure success is not by how much money I have or all these kinds of things. I measure my success by how much I can able to give back to somebody. How you are able to give back to somebody. So, for the most part, by earning this degree, it is expected that you give back. Give back to those people that you lead and follow, whether it's your subordinates, your peers, and yes, even your supervisors. Teach them what you know, whether it's technical, whether it's professional. Let them see what you bring to the table, because when they see that, they will want others to feed from that same table. Make sure that we move forward and continue to learn. Now let's fast forward 7 years from 5th grade. Although I was scared straight by Miss Duda, it didn't mean that I became some super smart genius. No, absolutely not. I struggled through school. I struggled through high school. I struggled through college. And I'll be honest with you, I barely graduated high school with a 1.98 GPA. But that didn't stop me. I struggled with life. I struggled with being a foster child, with school. But you know what? The one person that I could always turn to was Miss Duda. We've all been there. At some point, we wanted to quit. We wanted to stop, whether it's because of a deployment, whether it's because of PCS, whether it's because it just is not the right time. But those loved ones that we talked about, the friends and family and supervisors, continuously pushed us. They kept us staying strong. I guess the moral of the story is, even though we don't know where life is taking us sometimes, just know there is a master plan. You decided long ago to make a commitment to this Community College of the Air Force and completing your degree. You made a conscious choice to go to school and do whatever it took to be where you are today. And those personal sacrifices that you made away from your friends and family, they will pay dividends in the end. Here's the best part. You know, when I graduated high school with that great GPA, guess who was there to watch me walk across that stage? Miss Duda. And guess when I graduated from Southern Illinois University with my degree in education, who was there, who's the first person I called?
Miss Duda.
And when I completed my graduate studies in St. Louis, who's the next person I called?
Miss Duda.
Miss Duda. And just like Miss Duda was there for me, your friends and family will always be there for you, because it's the Miss Dudas of the world that continue to challenge us and push us forward. And now I charge you with returning that favor. You push forward. You be that Mr. or Mrs. Duda to your subordinates, to our airmen, guiding them where they need to be. Share with them your life experiences. Because everyone here today, and whether you believe it or not, there's some point, There's somebody here watching you walk across the stage that you will inspire to do the same thing. And it never ends there. It continues moving forward. So help them stand up, lead the way, show them the path. Because it never hurts to have that teacher, that mentor, that life coach there for you. I'll end with the conclusion of a commercial I saw. A father asked his son, "Son, what do you want to be when you grow up?" "I want to be a teacher." The father says, "No, no, 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 no. You want to be a doctor or a lawyer." He says, "Why would you want to be a teacher?" He said, "Dad, if it wasn't for teachers, where would doctors and lawyers be?" I say this to you. Congratulations, graduates, and may you continue to be blessed with integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all you do. Thank you.